Hey Fuzzy Oat family, Melissa here in Thomasville, Georgia on this wonderful Tuesday. Post, I almost called it the apocalypse. The eclipse, I hope everyone, maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. I don't think I saw it. I looked, but luckily my husband was really into it and he had it on the TV. And so we watched it that way. And then he kept running outside taking pictures of it as it progressed. And I couldn't tell anything was going on. But anyway, yeah, so let's see what else I want to talk about. Spring break is over for here, for this area. Thank goodness. We all survived mostly. And my son got home safely. So that's all that I was, looking forward to. And we are having some great spring weather here. But, sadly, it doesn't stay very long until we kind of skip right into summer. So hopefully it'll stay a little longer. All right, so let's talk about my projects. Well, no, let's not talk about my projects. I have some new things I get to show y'all today. First, I'm going to show you these guys. We got a new shipment in. What are these bags called? What do we call these? Yes. Red Stagger Wing. There we go. So we got the new ones in. This is, what are we calling this one? Is the Rabbit Bunny Toile. Love this one. Love it. And I think you guys have seen the inside too, but I'll show you. Oh, look at that fabric inside. Renee's over there. See it, Renee? See? Love that. Okay, that's one. I did have a nice little hanging rack over here, but it was too tall. This is flower, I don't know, flower something. Field? Yeah, there we go. Flower field. Beautiful. Let's look in the inside. Oh, yes. And pockets. Yay. Love it. Okay. And we've got this orange one. War Eagle, right? If I called orange flowers. Orange flowers. Well, of course. This would have been great. Great for football games. Oh, look at that inside. Yeah, is this the one you have? Yes. Yes. And this is the new one. Madeline and I were checking this one out. Metallic. This is the new fabric. To the inside there. Metallic floral. Metallic floral. And I don't know if you can see, it really is metallic. It's really cool. I like that. And then this one is yellow flowers. I'm going with that. It only has it'll say yellow and then a letter. That's why that's cool inside too. I love the contrasting colors for the inside. Great tote bag. Yes. Okay. So these are the Red Stagger Wing. So you can check them out on our website, fuzzygoatyarns.com. Let's see. Deanna's watching. Lynn's watching. Hello. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. Now I also grabbed just a few of these backpacks. These are the Ori backpacks, and I grabbed the different styles that we have. This one, Flinchly, is that what we're called? No, let's think I got that. So this, right, this is snap over. Yeah, snaps over so you can carry it like this, and it is a backpack. It's a medium size, I believe, right? I mean, what would you call this? Does it come just in one size?
Yeah, that's actually the small. I mean, that's smaller than the medium.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, so for us, we could but we only have one style of this, don't we? One size, one style, and lots of different colors. But I just picked one because I kind of was feeling pink today. And then this is the bigger version. Also, so it has a hook here. This is how we have it hanging in the store. And then it has a magnet, so it stays shut, and then you can carry it this way. And a backpack. It's got lots of little pockets here. Put some fun things. Over here too. Snaps. Get it in there snug. Like a umbrella, bottle, something like that. On either side. That's really cool. This one we are calling the Richmond backpack. And this is Atomic Orange. Oh, let me tell you what color this one is, just in case you wanted to know. This is violet. And then this is the one I actually have my backpack here. We got more of this cranberry. This is the large Ori backpack. And we got more of these in. And I love my red one. Love it, love it, love it. I pack it up when we go to market and stuff and put all my projects in there, but I have special space for all my chapsticks and lotions. Apparently I have a thing for chapsticks and lotions, and it has room for all of them. So, okay, so that's new stuff. Oh, I have two other things I want to show you. These are super cute. We got a new measuring tape with a little smiley face on it. Isn't that cute? It's leather, right? Even the cover's leather. Yeah. And we just call them this smiley tape measure. Oh, can you see? Maybe I have the smiley on one side. There you go. And then this is adorable. This is, we call this the standing acorn jar, right? Put your little whatever in there. I'm thinking special markers is what I was kind of thinking. And so it doesn't screw on, but it stays on. It pops off. You could probably throw this in your bag and it wouldn't come off. Like, you know, you have markers in here. Yep. On the go markers. Okay. I am wearing ranunculus. I have many ranunculuses. This one I have made before she specialized the sizes. She had like 2 sizes. So I made that then. And I've used a fingering and a lace together. And so it kind of gives it that little halo effect. So yeah. All right. So the first project I have down is the Against All Odds. So y'all know I have been kind of struggling with this one a little bit. Like, what's happening? Is it really happening the right way? So in case you were concerned, I tried it on again and counted my stitches. This is interesting though. And I checked my gauge down here, right? I checked gauge in this yarn, which is, I think, a Madeline Tosh. And that's when I made my decision to use my needles and such. Here I checked it and I had more stitches because apparently this yarn's a little thinner. Yeah, so my stitches are smaller. So I have more stitches like than there in the first. So stay tuned on this one. But it seems like it's getting very long, right? And you might agree. This looks going to stretch out. So I tried it on and it doesn't look so turtlenecky. Like, to me, that kind of looks turtlenecky, but it's not. So, and the sleeves are coming, like, I feel like they're coming down longer than they need to be, according to my repeats. You know, like, I have more repeats. And so what I decided to do, I had 7 2-row repeats, and where I was increasing, and then the next row was just knit. And I decided I was not going to do just the knit row. Because I needed the stitches. I needed it to go wider. I didn't need it to go longer. And then I had another repeat, 2 rows of 4, so 8 rows, 2 rows that are repeated 4 times, where I think I'm just increasing in the body. And I think, again, I may not do the row part, and try to not get it any longer but wider. And then I will separate the sleeves. This is Bad Sheep down here, which I love it. I love the color. It's going to be, I think it's going to be long sleeve. It's an Isabel Kramer pattern. And again, it's Against All Odds Max, I think she calls it, for her son. Super fun, but I don't know, something went awry. Maybe not, because the neckline, let me show you too. I don't know if you recall, I will be picking up the neckline. And she had us do this little funky thing. So I think we pick up and kind of close that out. So I wonder if that's just, anyway, we'll see. Stay tuned. Because I really was ready to rip her out this weekend. And I tried it on. And like I said, I spent some time on the pattern and checked my gauge. And I thought, well, I think it might be more fitted than I want, which might be okay. And yeah. I'm staying on course, and at any moment I may rip it out, but right now I think I'm okay. All right. The other one I'm super excited about, and I keep picking it up and going to it, which I'm surprised, is the Helga cardigan. I think they refer to it as a cardigan. It is a cardigan. And I tried it on, and I don't have, it kind of hits me here, you know, I want it longer, clearly. But it's going really fast now because I don't have the sleeves on there, and I think I've really gotten the hang of using the 2 yarns together. So this is my front, clearly. There's one of the cables, and then you see the cable on the side. It's just really been fun, and I can't wait to get it done. I'm hoping to get it done for market, so I I can wear it. We might need another one on top of it to be in Chicago in April. You just never know. We used to live there, so I can say that. But it's been super fun. So I have been picking this one up more often, just trying to get it done. And I think somebody, Joan, I don't know if you're watching, Joan, but she's also working on it. And yeah, I think you could probably make it using a fingering weight if you like the style of the sweater. I'm using the two Issair weight yarns held together, which are two lace. So, could a beginner do Helga? Hi, Nancy. That's a good question. I will say it is a little tricky. The instructions aren't as straightforward. I actually had to go on Ravelry because at one point it had line by line what you were going to do, which was great. Oh, and Joan says she keeps picking hers up. It's just fun to do. The cable is really fun because you don't use a cable needle. But the pattern itself, at one point she tells you just to continue in pattern, but she doesn't tell you what rows those patterns are. So I was having trouble. I was trying to figure out myself, and I went on Ravelry. See, this is where I should put my notes on there. And somebody else was having problems and wrote in there what the repeat was. And maybe it was a designer. I have no idea. Could have been. And that helped me out a lot. So aside from that, it's great. I think, yes, like a beginner could do it. I don't know if a beginner would want to use two yarns held together. You may want to do just like a fingering yarn, one, just to make it a little more simple. And but otherwise, yes. And there's some interesting things that she does using two yarns together for like when you're stretching out from the neck when you're growing and adding on. She has you just use one of them. I think you could just probably do it with your one yarn if that's what you use. So that's my 2 cents on that. Yes, I think, Nancy, I would suggest you doing it in a fingering, not the two held together yet. All right, so another one that's kind of been riding around with me around town. This one went to the movies this weekend with me, and I'm just doing stockinette, so it was pretty simple. I had my neck lights just in case, but I didn't need them. Except I did have one little issue. So I'm knitting around and around, right, in the dark, and I'm feeling for my working yarn. I'm like, why is it coming from over here? So somehow I had looped it around here, and I was hoping in the dark that it's just wrapped around anyway, it was. But I thought, well, worst case scenario, I will be tinking that row back. But so yeah, I'm getting there. This one I might also be able to wear in Chicago. It's so I've realized it is so soft and squishy, like it is a cotton, mostly cotton anyway, that it's going to be very airy. So, I don't know, it'll be long sleeve, but I don't know if I want to wear long sleeve in the summer here, but I think it would work in most situations, especially since we can adjust our air conditioning here. So there you go. That is called Valentine. Pattern is called Valentine, and it is using the Mystico. Oh, look, getting ready to. Oh, almost finished this, and that was going to be an issue too if I finished that in the theater. That was going to be an issue. But I didn't have to worry about it. I did see a cute movie though. It was called The Wicked Little Letters, and it was really cute, funny, really funny. So, and there was a lady in it. They cut to a scene, right? And there was a lady. It takes place in a long time ago, and of course, the first thing I see is that a woman was knitting in it. And I said to my friend, "Oh my gosh, she's knitting!" She's like, "Who?" Like she didn't even pick up on it, but she was knitting. So that was kind of cool. Okay, Valentine. Let's talk about these little guys here. This one, yes, this is the sport weight pattern. Is called SS&A. SS&A. And again, you can find these pattern links on our website. If you just put in the name of the pattern, it should link you there. Or if you go to the yarns that it uses, like this would be a sport weight. All the patterns should be linked to all our sport weight, which I think is, yeah. This I'm using Pashmina for this. It is lovely. So as you can see, I've separated the sleeves, which is super exciting, and also getting ready to finish this ball. So let me show you what's happening on the side. So it's not just a stockinette. I did have to read this for a second. So under the arms, it's got the purl stitch on the side. And every 4 rows, you do a little cable thingy, or you don't have to use a cable, but it's a cable, but you don't have to use a cable needle. There you go. And you are increasing the number of purls on the front side of the sweater, so it kind of becomes like this. I think should be flattering. The number of stitches doesn't change. You're not increasing stitches. You're just changing the ratio between the front and the back. So that's kind of cool. Sharon, hello. Sharon is knitting in bed right now while she's watching. I hope you're not sick, Sharon. I hope you're just relaxing, maybe recovering from the eclipse, maybe. Okay, so this has been fun. And like I said, the sides, the directions are pretty clear. I just had to pause and see if I was, in the directions it says plus a purl, like you start at 7 purls and then it says plus a purl. I'm like, am I creating a purl? So then I had to figure out that the cable was actually creating the purl, because you do a flip-flop on the stitches and one becomes a purl, one's a knit, and the purl just keeps growing and growing. So yeah, stay tuned for that. This one I kind of pick up a lot too. First of all, I love the color, and it's just fun to work with. Fun pattern. And I can do it while watching stuff, right? I don't have to look too often. I don't have to look up a lot. And since I'm, the Helga, since I'm using 2 yarns, although I can do it without looking up, I check every once in a while because I don't want to drop one of those stitches. So S, S, and A. Okay, 2 more. And I did tell you I'm wearing the ranunculus, right? Oh, time difference. Oh, Sharon, good. Well, I'm glad you're not sick. And I'm glad you're able to watch and knit in bed. That's awesome. This one is, yes, okay. Plenilune tea, and I believe it has something to do with the moon. That's what I'm thinking. Something to do with, yes. All right, let me just get myself here. My wits about me. Oh, there we go. Where did I end that? Okay, I'm not at the end of the row. Oh, yes, I am. Okay. So it's interesting having so many sweaters going on. Like some of them, the beginning of the round is in the back. I think 2 of them, it's actually at a sleeve. So I just have to figure out where I am. So this is the Plenilune. It's kind of hard to see what's happening. I think it'll be easier once I separate the sleeves, which I'm not far from. This is the front, and let me show you the back because it might be easier to, But the other thing that's not helping me is my needle needs to probably be a little longer. So there's, oh, that's a sleeve. Sorry. You can kind of see it there. So there's the little ribbing action. Oh, is on either side of the slight little cable that there is. And it's just real, it's just subtle. I think that happens I can tell you. Let's look at the chart. You can see, so here it is. Here's where it happens here, and it happens again here and here. And it's real simple. It's as simple, the cable's always the same. I have to, it's kind of tiny. Don't be alarmed, don't be worried, because there's not a whole lot going on. It pretty much repeats itself. So I do have sleeve for both sleeves, and then the front and back on the same chart too. So I think I know what's happening. I think this chart goes on until I separate the sleeve, and then I just follow this chart. Stay tuned though, because I haven't gotten that far in my directions. So there's this one, and I love working with this yarn. This is a lace, it calls for a lace yarn, and I'm using the Sweet Georgia Sea Silk, I think it's called, and it is lovely. It has a lot of yardage. I don't have my double tag. It has a lot of yardage in it, like over 400, almost 490, I want to say. So I think this pattern only calls for 2 of them for my size. And again, this is called Plenilune, Plenilune. What is Marcia? Oh, you love the color. Thank you. It's the color that I'm using, I believe, is strawberry tea. There you go. I liked it because usually I go for darker colors, and there was one over there that I almost went for. But I liked it because there was just a lot going on with the color. It wasn't a solid. I kind of liked it because there's not a lot going on in the pattern. So there we go. And I have one more to show you, I'm going to talk about this thing right here. You can't really see it, but I want to talk about my Papa sweater. Okay, this one is the one my husband just loves the sweater. He loves it. And this is called the, I went blank, Marigold. Do I even have that on there? I don't. Oh, yeah, I did. Marigold. This sweater, I am using fingering. I think you could probably use lace if you wanted to. I would do my gauge swatch. Oh, did I talk about that? Yes, I did. I talked about that with the gauge swatch and how my gauge, I think, changed on the different yarns for the Against All Odds. So this is the Marigold tee, and what happens, you start at the sleeve, okay, and I think this row, the solid is 12 rows, 14 rows maybe for my size. This is like 6 rows with a little lace in there, and then you just keep switching. Then here, after I finished this lace row, it had you cast on, no, that's not true. I'm sorry, it was here. So sorry. Clearly, after this lace row, cast on, I think it was 30, maybe 60. No, it must be 60 something on either side. So I was like, what's happening? So this is the body. And then we're coming across this way. So it's going to be kind of cool. It's going to take a long time because look, this is my row. But I don't have to do the back. So I was kind of thinking it was going to be pieced together, but it is not. It is seamed. And it's been really fun. I used 2 different needles. This is a bigger needle. I can't remember what it is. The lace uses a smaller needle. And you can see I have lots of markers on there. I haven't decided if I take the markers out, because, I only use the markers when I have the lace pattern going. But then you got to stop and put it back in again. So sometimes I just leave them in. And that's the way I do it. But I am carrying, when I remember, the green when I'm doing the lace, carrying the green. And when I'm doing the lace, I cut it because there's 12 rows. And then I tried to do the weave and Steven, and carry it. So I will have a lot of ends, but I can just snip them when I'm done. I might weave them in a little bit, but so there we go. That is what I have for my projects. And this one is called Marigold again. And I love this. This is the same color that Cadence is doing her lace in, which is called Haijuka. Hakaji. I want to call it a haiku, but that doesn't work. It's the same color, but this is the fingering weight. I just love it. Anyway, all right, so let me talk a little bit about my Papa sweater. Can you see it? Let's see. Okay, so last week I was going to wear it again today, and I could have actually put it over at the top of this dress, but I was telling you I hadn't worn it a lot, and I was not real happy with the way the color work had gone. I did use the ladder back jacquard, and I decided last week after I wore it that I was going to block it because I think I spray blocked it. Now, one thing I forgot, well, probably why I spray blocked it the first time, is because I have white here and this really dark color here. Didn't think about that when I threw it in the sink, and then within a second I went, whoops, like it was definitely running, right, bleeding. And if you get up real close, you might be able to, you can see if you get real close, but otherwise I think the effect's still there. So I'm okay even if it does look a little pink because the contrast is still there. And I just dunked it enough to get it wet, and I took it out immediately. And of course, dried it. I didn't pin it. I just kind of flattened it out, really stretched this part out. So this is where the increases are. So that's always going to kind of look like that. I'm not sure I could have done anything different there. But the color work really settled. I was really, really happy. And I put it on and wore it to work, I think a couple of days later. And Cadence like, oh my gosh, like a completely different sweater. So it's probably meant, it's now being worn the way it's intended to. Is kind of oversized because I think it had one size, maybe 2. I think it was just one size. So it's a Papa sweater. So it's intended to be like you went in and grabbed your dad's sweater. And this it's not as fitted, so it just kind of lays straight. But the sleeves are now longer, so I'm not going to do anything different with them. It probably hits about right here, which is perfect. And I'm afraid if I go much longer, it's going to be heavy, But I will probably do something with my neckline. It was okay, but I think I'd want it a little tightened up a little bit. Cadence had a great idea. I think I'm going to try it. I'm not a crocheter, but I think I'm going to go in and crochet around, right? Just one round will do, you think?
Yeah.
Inside. What does that mean? Inside.
Not on the outside, but right inside
The last row, or like inside further? Like, maybe down here.
Right, like it won't be
You won't be able to see it.
It won't be on the outside.
Yeah.
It'll be right inside here.
But that top row.
Yeah. You can even do it a couple rows.
Go down. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a try because
pull it in just a little bit.
Yeah, and go all the way around.
Yeah.
Pick up every row.
Yep.
Every stitch. Yep. That's what I might do that tonight. I don't know. We are
If you don't like it, you can
I can undo it, and then what I would think I'd probably do is just pick up and knit. Is what I might do. It's a ribbing up there. Yeah, the stitches will be backwards, but I think that's what I might do too. With that, if that doesn't work, I think that would be the quickest way to fix it. But I will tell you right now, we're getting a roof done on our house. It's driving my dogs crazy, and we have 3 of them. And then we used to letting them just out in the yard, which that's not happening right now because they got all kinds of stuff in the yard. I guess one of my dogs grabbed one of the workers' bagels this morning. I felt so bad because he had the truck open, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning, so they surely had their breakfast and just grabbed it and took off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we're having to walk the dogs more, which is fine. I like walking the dogs, but there's 3 dogs. So we have 2 of them. It's just so funny. 2 of them that are efficient walkers. I decided this morning they're very efficient. They go. My one dog, who is a Brittany, he will keep walking even when he's peeing. He just wants to walk so much. He just keeps going. And then my oldest dog. No, she is the one marking everywhere. Like and she's the biggest. So like I have 2 of them that are being efficient up here, and I have her back here. So one of my neighbors one time stopped me and said, "I just love watching you walk your dogs." And I'm like, "You're probably laughing at me because constantly, but they've never. I shouldn't even say this. They haven't tripped me up yet, not yet. But anyway, so it's been a little chaotic, and so my friend Renee here is saying she's gonna maybe go out to dinner tonight. So I'm thinking maybe I'll join her so I don't have to go home to that chaos. Because then she tells me they stay until it gets dark. I'm like, oh no, where's the eclipse when I need it, right? Anyway, so that is what I have for you today. So I hope you all have a great week. I look forward to catching up with you next week. All right, take care.